Hello, beautiful people. Today's conversation is a part 2 with Luna Aura. We dive deep into a lot of different topics. To be totally honest with you, I was trying to go through this podcast and edit and clip out half of the things that I said until I realized that, you know what, fuck it. If this provides value for someone, I'm so grateful that I was able to bring my shadows to light so that you can too. We get into a lot of different topics on this conversation: shadow work, sexuality, and I thank Luna so much for the work that she does. So I'm just going to get right into it. Enjoy, beautiful people. We are back, part 2 with Luna, and the conversation is just going to flow in the best way that we can serve the sisters.
Yes, and the
men.
knowledge and the truth and men and women and the sacred union.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm so excited to have this conversation because the first podcast that we did got so many downloads, so many questions were asked afterwards, and I was really grateful to be able to share that conversation. I know that you recently posted a video about the dark feminine.
I'm going to post it this week. Yeah,
okay,
I just did it, yeah.
I would love to further dive into what that is.
Okay. Yeah, we can.
Okay.
It's a subject that not many people speak about. I feel like not enough. Because, we talk about the toxic masculinity a lot. That's a term we all know very well.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't really talk about the shadow of the feminine, you know? A lot of people blame me in my videos and what I do that, they say that I think women are better than men and I hate men and blah, blah, blah. It's so far from the truth. And that's why I also wanted to talk about the shadow of the feminine, because yes, the toxic masculinity is real. It's been controlling our reality and manipulating our reality for a very, very long time. Before any history books can even tell you. Because history itself is his story. But law of polarity, which is the basic law of the universe, one basic law of the universe, says that, not says, but if the divine masculine has been suppressed, if the divine feminine has been suppressed, the divine masculine has been suppressed just as much. And if the dark masculine has risen, that means that the shadow feminine has also risen with it. The thing is that the dark masculine, we see it. It's in our faces, It's everywhere in this reality, in this matrix reality. But the shadow feminine is very hidden. It's behind the scenes, but it's still there, very powerful, if not more powerful. Because even in just the basic, the natural truth of it, the feminine is more powerful than the masculine in terms of energy, in terms of powers of manipulating reality and energy and what we would call magic. So if we do have shadow, masculine and feminine, and the feminine is already naturally a lot more stronger, then her shadow will be a lot more dangerous and stronger too. So it's something very important to talk about, and it's something that I think that women have to acknowledge and talk about more and be more open about, because we all have shadow. And if we suppress that as well and we don't talk about it and we don't put it up into the light, then it's going to control us as well. But we don't want that. We want a world that's guided by divine feminine and divine masculine together. So it's a very important thing to begin to talk about all the time, and to acknowledge within yourself and to notice within yourself all the time when you're doing your own shadow work. And
So what's the difference between the shadow in all humans and the dark shadow of women, the shadow side?
I don't understand the question.
Doing shadow work as a whole versus the shadow side of women, or is it all the same thing?
Well, it's just basically, I'm talking about just like you have the shadow side of masculinity, you have the shadow side of femininity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the right question, but yeah. So we all have shadows, basically. The shadow of the femininity, the how should I explain? Her main way of working is through manipulation. Okay, so manipulation is like something to really always observe within the shadow feminine. So yeah, The shadow masculine is about controlling and taking control of others, being above others and controlling others, as well as abandonment. Like that's also a fear of, by the way, a fear of them. But let's focus on the shadow feminine right now. So yeah, so manipulation is the biggest thing to look at when you're exploring your own feminine shadow.
Do you think that the women who are doing manipulating, are they consciously doing it, and is it something that they can become aware of when doing it?
Okay, so first of all, it's a good question. It's good to remember that every woman on the planet has, of course, light and shadow. Like every person, we all have light and shadow, right? So even the most amazing woman on the planet has her shadow feminine. And now you were asking, can you repeat that?
Is it a conscious awareness?
It could be both. It could be very conscious, and it could be not conscious. I know for myself, and I know for every woman that I know in my life, that we have moments where our shadow feminine controls us unconsciously, because we have these moments when our inner child, our inner girl, is triggered, and some of these moments will be completely unconscious. We are going to completely act in a dark feminine way, and not even be aware of it. Some of us might be wake up like 5 minutes later. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck did I just do? How did I react? Some of us might notice it. Some of us might never notice it. So it really depends on how aware you are as a woman, how mature you are, and how well you know yourself. None of us are perfect as long as we're in a human body, but really being aware of that shadow is key. It's so important.
Yeah, it's really interesting that we're talking about this and that it was brought up before having this conversation, because I've been having conversations with other people about, like a long time ago, I had a friend who always wanted attention from the boyfriends of the women that I was friends with. Yeah. And I recently came upon this situation, and something in me had so much compassion for the girl that was trying to attract in all of the unavailable men, because I subconsciously, in my mind, wanted that attention before,
of course,
and felt shame about it. And by feeling that shame, I knew that I would never want to interfere and do something like that because of sisterhood.
Right.
So what is it, do you think, in those women that are so able to do that they can learn from?
Well, I think it's basically fear. Everything, all shadow comes from fear. And it's very different from woman to woman, because every girl has experienced her own trauma, her own grew up with her own set of ideas and stories about men and about the masculine and about her own sexuality. So, and by the way, you said shame, and shame is very important to notice all the time, because shame can bring a woman to act either way. It can bring a woman to like say, oh, I'm never going to do that, I'm going to be the good girl. Or it could bring a woman to like say, fuck it, I'm gonna use my sexuality and do whatever I want and get whoever I want. So shame can be a two-edged sword, It's very important to look at shame and guilt if you're a woman, because we are bombarded by it since we're like born into a human body all the time, by society, by religion, by our parents, by whatever, the teacher, by who, just all the time. And our sexuality, we talked about it also like a little bit last time, but so
shame and guilt,
really pay attention to that. Pay attention to how you are using your sexuality. Okay, our sexuality, feminine women's sexuality, is a weapon. It could be used as a weapon. It's our most powerful thing. It could be used as a tool to build a better world and to build heaven, or it could be used as a weapon to destroy. So important for women to connect to their womb, first of all, like I said last time, and I repeat that I think every single time I'd make a video. It's because it's so basic. Connect to your womb, allow your womb to guide you, and because when you're connected to your womb, you're connected to other women by by default, kind of, because your womb is connected. My womb, we're sitting here right now, my womb is connected to yours. There's an invisible thread that's connected between both of our wombs, and if we are women, that work from our woman, where we work from our hearts, and we respect each other as women, that thread's going to be so powerful, and we will exchange information between us all the time. All right. So, and we will know to respect you. We will feel each other more. We respect each other more. We could work together better. So, so yeah, getting in touch with your womb first of all, healing all past trauma and things, which is a very big, obviously a very big thing. It might take a lifetime. But being aware of all your stories and your program when it comes to your own sexuality. How are you using your sexuality? How are you flirting with people around you? Are you being very conscious and aware on how you are flirting? How you're like sending these subtle hints, even? Because a woman doesn't have to come up to a guy, it's like, oh, you're hot, I want to sleep with you. She can just look at him. She can just not even look at him. She can like be in the other side of the room and send him her energy, and he will feel it.
Right.
So are you being responsible? Are you being mature enough? Are you being caring enough and loving enough? Even if that man is single, this is the very important thing to understand. I meet a lot of women all the time that talk to me about this subject, about their sexuality and stuff. And a lot of them are still in their wounded little girl stage. I've met a girl recently who is calling herself, a feminine empowerment coach, but she could not be more far from it, because she's so disrespectful and not responsible with her sexual energy around people, and it hurts people. It can hurt people. It can take away their energy. It manipulates other people's energy. I don't know. She's probably not very conscious of what she's doing. I know she has a good heart and it's coming from good intentions, but we gotta be responsible. When you are a mature woman who knows her sexuality, you know what your sexuality can cause. I am so careful. Like, even if I like a guy these days, or which rarely happens because I'm so picky, but even if it happens, I have to be so careful around him with my energy. Because I can hurt him. Not consciously, God forbid, but it's very powerful, my sexual energy. It can hurt him. It can cause some sort of chaos or confusion in his life. So you are a woman, you are extremely powerful. Be responsible with it.
So a question I have for you is, how do you balance reeling in your sexual energy when you embody someone who is so confidently sexually open without taking it too far? Like, you're able to feel comfortable in your body and have this strong feminine energy that's very powerful. So how do you maintain that while also not manipulating the men, even by accident?
Yeah. Well, it's just awareness. I'm already aware. I've practiced it so much, and I've made mistakes, and I've seen so many times how my energy affects other people. So I know it's just something. It's something that has happened after a lot of practice and a lot of mistakes. And nothing is a mistake, really. Of course, I really do believe that nothing is a mistake. And but yeah, it's it's just knowing yourself, and observing life, and observing what you do, and how your own specific unique energy flows, and how you are expressing it to the world. And also, every woman expresses it differently, and every woman in every stage of her own life expresses it differently. So you are not the same woman you were 5 years ago,
Right.
and even a year ago. Me too. So constantly getting to know yourself again and again and again, and checking in.
So,
and observe when you're talking to a guy, when you're talking to, especially I'm talking, people from the other sex that you're attracted to. This is a great space to practice and to really observe. Just even when you're talking to a guy, even a guy stops you at the supermarket, or you whatever, any men, just notice. It's not something to think about logically, because you will never understand it logically. This kind of energy you cannot understand logically. The feminine is the biggest mystery in existence. So don't try to understand it and explain it to yourself with your right brain, but just experience it and observe it. you will feel it. Your womb will feel it. Like, feel your womb, feel your pussy, feel what he's feeling. Feel into that man, you know? Feel, like, try to, like, see his energy. So, and go slowly. Go slowly. Don't pounce. If you're not really sure about your sexual energy, don't pounce. Just take it slow, and breathe into it, and have more compassion. Compassion is a very big, very big thing.
Yeah, sometimes in my life it goes both ways, but there have been moments when I can feel the man's energy interested in me,
Yeah.
and I can immediately feel myself putting up walls because I almost feel like it's too much. Not that I'm too much, but to give any more than just this would kind of bring him in more, which I don't know if that's necessary.
Yeah, well, this is a good thing to talk about, because a lot of men today, I actually talk about it in my video as well. So a lot of men today in our society, and if when you start actually really paying attention to it, you'll notice this is insane. There are more men that are in their dark feminine than women. So a lot of men will come up to you, and you would feel they want to suck away your energy too fast, too much, instead of giving to you. Remember the law of polarity, right? So because for a long time women have been pushed to being their masculine, a lot of mothers, the lack of masculinity have pushed a lot of women to being their masculine. Also, a lot of women felt like, this is a masculine world, I have to become masculine in order to succeed, in order to live, in order to survive. So if more women have become masculine, then what's the polarity? More men have become feminine. It's just a natural, this is the law of polarity. So and unfortunately, because there is lack of divinity and lack of awareness, a lot of men go into the dark feminine without even being aware that they're in the dark feminine right now. So again, I remind that the sacred flow is the man gives, the woman receives. Okay? So the dark feminine also, this is another trait of a dark feminine energy, is that she takes instead of receiving. Okay? So this is a big one. So yeah, a really huge trait. Manipulation and taking instead of being the divine feminine and receiving. Waiting and receiving it.
Oh, so taking would be like backstabbing?
Not necessarily. It could be it could be anything. It could come up in many different ways. But it's just the energy of, like, instead of me just being here, receiving from the universe the gifts of the universe and transmuting them and working with them, I take. I want that. It's that wounded inner girl, I want to take now. There is no balance, there is no divinity, there's no maturity. So look at the difference between, I'm receiving it from you, I'm just waiting here and you want to give me a cup of tea, or I'm taking it from you. Like right now, and then I can burn, like all the hot water can spill and I can burn both of us. So this is the energy of the dark feminine versus the divine feminine.
So when men are in the dark feminine, they are probably less aware of it than
they're
women.
Absolutely oblivious to it. They have no clue they're there,
because they often don't even feel that the feminine energy is within them.
Yeah, they first of all, they don't think they're feminine at all. Of course, because their ego. Because when you're in your shadow, you don't see anything but you don't see. You're in the shadow. So the ego of the man, of course, they want to believe that they're man. That they're like, but they don't see themselves. And this is actually happening, ironically, a lot more in spiritual communities. So men who actually think that they're more aware and more spiritual are more in the dark feminine or in their dark masculine. And actually men who are kind of like, we would call them asleep or in the matrix, they're going to be more in their masculine, whether dark or divine even. But it's a very ironic thing actually to observe. It's everywhere. Yeah.
It's interesting to acknowledge that these parts of us exist so clearly and without shame,
Yeah.
So it's so important to do the work.
Very important.
I wonder if there's a part of me, and just for everyone listening, if there's something in me that's still in the shadow. Does that mean that I'm attracted to the shadow part of a man?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, we all have still our shadows. All of us have parts of our shadow, and we will always have them. That's the thing. We have to acknowledge it until the day we die and leave this human body. We will always have shadows. It's how aware are we of our shadows. I still find myself in moments where, for example, I would go and I would see a really, really attractive man, and I would be so attracted to his energy, but he has a woman. So it's like, am I going to act on it? What am I going to do? How aware am I of what I'm doing right now? Usually what I do right now is I literally would walk away. I would leave the room even, because I don't want my energy or my shadow in any tiny little way to affect their bond or relationship.
Right.
So I would literally remove myself from the situation. And this is obviously, it's very different with every experience, but this is just one tiny example. So the point is how aware you are of your shadow, because it's always going to be there. You know, you're human.
So in going back to attraction and being attracted to certain kinds of people, there was a question about pheromones and like if there's something from one of my friends about that, and if there's something biologically that makes us attracted to people. So the question would be about the physical animalistic traits that we are. Another question is trauma, and another one is understanding higher self-attraction. So the difference between those three.
I'm not sure I understood like your connection with the three of them.
Yeah.
About the pheromones, you can Google it. This is not what I do.
Okay.
These are like facts you can find on Google, and I don't care about that. I keep myself very clear to receive information from a specific dimension, in a specific way about the feminine and masculine. I'm sure there's a lot to do with pheromones. What I can talk to you about is the alchemy of sexuality, of what's happening in the body between a man and a woman. That's more interesting to me, and that's what I want to bring to people more, and I think it's more important. So yeah, if people are interested in the pheromones and the biological things, there are a lot of stuff on Google about it. Yeah, and trauma. Were you talking
like
about
trauma bonding.
What's the question about it though?
Just how can you separate higher self connection with humans or trauma bonding? Does that really just have to do with understanding the shadow self? Because, for example, I can be attracted to someone who has a personality that I'm not sure what is so attractive to me about it, because I know it doesn't serve me. So why is it that I keep longing for this unavailable person that's mysterious?
Oh, okay, you're talking about like attraction, like physical attraction.
Yeah.
Why are we attracted to certain? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, every time I did a few videos on it actually. Every time you're attracted to someone, it's super important. Okay, number one, it's never about the other person. Let's like get this clear, and like put it really deep in your veins, in your brain. Like, it's never about the other person. Very important for all of us to remember all the time, because it's very, very easy for us to slip when we see someone attractive, and it's so easy to fall into the story, especially for women, because we talked about this last time. Women are so much more, the feminine is so much more prone to living in a few dimensions at the same time. So when
It's my grandma.
Oh, hi, Grandma.
I'm just gonna
Wants to hear about sex.
Yeah, she's always calling. Okay.
So, where was I?
About women and how we tell our stories. We talked about this last time.
So it's so easy for us to, when we see a guy, I like him, I'm attracted to him, immediately, I would already see my wedding day with him, our children. I would be in many different dimensions with him, many different lifetimes. So it's important to, first of all, stay grounded, stay in your womb, and feel, just again, take your time. Don't pounce. Feel that man. Really feel that man from your womb. Ask your pussy. Okay? Don't pounce on him because you like him. So, and then the second part is, what about, forget about this person, like don't go into the story about this person, but ask yourself, what about this person am I attracted to? What are the traits in him or in her that I'm attracted to? And make a, like, literally write it down, make a list of it, record yourself, speak it out, and talk to yourself, what am I attracted to? I will give you an example in my life. I'm super picky again, and it takes me so long between guys. Like if I ever find someone that I'm attracted to, but if I do, it's groundness. I am always like, I would find the most grounded, solid man, and oh my god, super attracted, right? Because I am longing for that groundness within myself. I was always, and I'm so much more grounded. Of course, every single day I'm so much better, because I'm not pouncing on that man. It's not about the man. I'm doing the grounding work with myself. And I'm so much more grounded. Like, seriously, if you met me a few years ago, it would have been a different woman. So in that term, in terms of being grounded and being like stable in my energy, and not letting other things shake me up too quickly. So that's what I'm attracted to, because it's a quality within myself that I long for so much. For example, if I'm attracted to a very tall man, which I am always, the tallest man in the room, I would be attracted to him. Why? Because, and again, I'm asking myself, what is that quality? Why am I attracted to that quality? What is it giving me? It gives me safety. It fulfills, I feel safe. And I'm acknowledging a part of my wounded girl that never felt safe in the world. So that's a quality that I'm really attracted to, and really kind of like feels like home. So again, whether if it's this guy or the next, it doesn't matter. It's not about him. I am grateful for him, for the mirror that he gives me. I always send love to every man I'm attracted to. I don't want to take, because again, this is the dark feminine. If you keep walking around being attracted to guys, fantasizing about them, I want him, blah, 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 whether something happens or not, you're taking away their energy. You're like a vampire. So when I see a man that I'm attracted to, I don't pounce. I wait to receive. If he's my man, he will come. He will come and he will give me. And I will receive. If I feel right at the moment, I will receive. If not, I will say thank you, and I will will put my boundary, and I will close my womb and whatever. But I don't pounce him. I don't mess around with his energy, and I send him love, and I'm grateful for him. I don't have to say it to his face. I just say it to his spirit, to his heart. I send love and energy to his heart. This is, by the way, it's a very important thing that the Sisters of the Temple taught me. It's called Masculine Fire. Check it out on my YouTube channel. It's the most powerful thing that women today can do for men.
Masculine Fire.
Masculine Fire practice. I read it in my book, and there is also a video on it.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, so always remember, don't be an energy vampire, because you can, as a woman, suck away a man's energy without even noticing. So remember, it's not about him. Send him love and gratitude, and step back. Be the divine feminine. Step back and wait and receive. Give him the what's the word? Like, give him the space to be a divine masculine, to come to you. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
Because women today, we're so used to being in our masculine because we were forced to. We feel like we need to do something. We like a guy, we need to do something. No, try something different. Just step back, breathe, ground into your womb, and trust that the specific God man or divine masculine that needs to be with you will find you. Okay, it's okay to give him hints. It's okay to do, but be very careful with not interrupting with his energy. Don't be a vampire.
Yeah. I have two things to say about this. The first is, it's so interesting because when talking about taking, I know that my shadow side would exist to get attention from the men.
Of course, yeah.
And in my pure love form, when I'm like on flow, it's I just want to be.
Right.
Like I don't need that attention because I just want to be, and it's not about that.
Right.
But to just want to be and it's not about that requires full love for myself, because if I have something off that day and don't love myself, didn't go through my meditation practice, I notice that I need love from other people to fill me up.
Yes.
Specifically men.
Yes.
And it's fascinating to see how shifted that becomes, and also how much compassion I have when I can feel that coming from other women.
Yeah.
Because it's felt.
Yeah.
It's like the intentions behind the movements that are done are pure or not pure.
Yeah. It's funny because I went, you know, my video about the dark feminine that I will post this week, I actually spoke about that because I said I made it funny in the video, which calling it like the bad witch and the good witch, you know, just I wanted to make it more funny. So if a dark feminine like woman, like a bad witch basically, which a woman in her dark feminine won't be friends with a good witch, which is a woman who's more aware and conscious, not perfect obviously, but more aware and conscious, because the good witch, she knows that the good witch is gonna see right through her shit, you know, like, because it's just what you said, because when you are an aware woman, you notice, you see, it's like nothing gets by you,
right?
You know, and it's so men will not understand that so much. You know, it's not that they're dumb or anything. It's just that they don't understand these energies. Women, we are naturally born with that. We are a witch, a wise woman. We are born with the wisdom of understanding magic and and energy and manipulation of energy, whether it's for good or bad. So, you know, a man can, you know, a lot of guys can be my friends, and they can come and be in their dark feminine, and they think that they're fooling me, but I see right through them. But a dark feminine woman will come, and she knows I see right through her. Right. Like, she knows it. So she will be even more manipulative, because she will kind of play like will kind of have two masks on, if that makes sense, you know, because she will play like, so it's really interesting. It's so interesting to like observe the world that way. It's and magic. Like, it's so magical. And it's funny sometimes, and it's powerful, and it's empowering, and you learn how to clean out your life from energies and people that, you know, and you get to respect yourself a lot more, love yourself a lot more. And yes, self-love is putting boundaries sometimes, and it's say, I don't want you to be my friend. You need to get out of my life. I don't like your energy. I've done this with so many women, especially this last year and 2 years. Oh my God. So that's part of self-love sometimes. Yeah. I still would love that. I would send her love. I will send whatever person, even men, I will send them love. But I love myself. I honor myself, because I know what I'm worth, and how much work I do to keep my energy clear and pure and the most aligned that I can as a human being. And this is my boundary. You will not cross it.
So do you think a smart man would recognize it, or it's just not in their field?
He has to be extremely conscious. Like an extremely conscious man would feel, of course, he would, a man who is in his heart, in his divine masculine, he is so fucking wise. Like, he doesn't even have to speak. He will just sit there in silence, and he would see he would see right through everyone in the room. That's why it's so important for men to be in their divine masculine and to live from their heart. Their wisdom is the heart. And the more they work from the heart, the more wise, powerful, loving, just amazing creators there will be. And we need them. We freaking need them.
Yeah. Especially because when they can see through that, it inspires the women who are in their shadows to also work on themselves.
Exactly.
Because if they're feeding off that energy, and that energy is no longer there, like...
Exactly. Because the thing is this, we have to stop tolerating dark feminine or dark masculine. Yeah. Everyone, men and women, we have to stop tolerating it. We want to birth a new, better, more divine world of people who are, again, not perfect, but in their divinity, in their true human power. We want to create divine, sacred unions between couples, because that it's going to affect the children that are going to come. It's going to affect what we're going to create in the world. So we really need to stop tolerating any shit from people, men and women.
Right. So it's really interesting because now I'm in a phase in my life where my energy is really sacred. I don't want to have sex with anyone until I know for sure. And in the past, I probably would have gotten to know people and then felt very sexually, energetically fired up and have been maybe willing to, okay, yeah, I'll go there. That was just a phase in my life.
Yeah.
And now I've been connecting with these people, and after just developing a relationship with them and being very clear that like sex is not on the table for a while, they just shoot out of my life.
Right.
Like,
right.
So quick.
Because the truth comes out. The truth comes out. Like, the more you are aware and the more you live in integrity to yourself and the truth and like and putting your boundaries, it's so much better, because you have less people in your life, but you have real people in your life. Like, you have the real connection. It's not the shit. You know, when we were younger, you probably were like me, where like I literally had I'm exaggerating obviously, but like a lot of people everywhere in my community. Everyone knew me, and I was super popular, and I had so many friends. I thought that they were my friends. I'm doing this because I thought that they were my friends, because I wasn't mature enough. I was open to everyone, and I thought everyone loved me right away, and I loved them right away. But the more mature you are, the more boundaries you have, the more you know, the more you are walking in your truth, the more you are going to expect it from other people around you, and you will not tolerate less than that. So yeah, you have a lot less people, but you have very strong, powerful, real people that you know, just real, like authenticity, you know?
Yeah.
And when you said, you also said, you know, that you used to like feel very strong sexual attraction. It's very important to remember that when you, for men and women, when you are in, when you meet a person for the first time and you feel that, oh my God, super like sexual attraction, I want to fuck them, blah, 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 blah. It's stop. You got to stop. You got to breathe. Men have to go in their heart. Women have to go into the room and really ask yourself that question that we spoke before. What am I attracted to in this person? It's never the person, okay? Later on, if your connection is, you see time is a friend in that way, where it shows you the truth about a person, because in the beginning everyone wants to make an impression, and so yes, if later on your relationship will be authentic and wonderful, that's great. But for now, just stop and remember that sexual, especially for women, that sexual energy is life force. Use it, take it. You don't have to sleep with a guy to use that sexual energy. Thank him for awakening that desire within you, and let it go.
Yeah.
Okay, send him love to his heart, because he did give you. If I'm looking at a guy, I don't even have to talk to him. He turns me on so much. He literally gave me energy right now. He gave me life force. So I have to give him back. So with my imagination, with my intention, I send from my heart, I send love to his heart. I don't even have to ever talk to him. Okay? It's just being aware of that exchange of energies all the time. It's very important.
So powerful.
It's very powerful. It's very powerful.
Wow.
This is why this information will change the world, and no one talks about it. No one talks about it. I've seen some people started this past year, because I've been doing YouTube videos for like 3-4 years now, I think. Some people are starting to like copy some stuff and like, do it but it's very, very important. That's why I started new programs now, because I want to teach more people to be facilitators to this information. So I have a new facilitator program that I teach people. They go through 3 different programs for 6 months, and I teach them all of this stuff, and also energy and sexual alchemy, and then they can create their own retreats and their own groups and teach and share this information. But this information is not for everyone, and I'm not sharing all the information like this in a podcast or on my YouTube channel. I can't even, because it has to be a very like one-on-one initiation for some people, like the real knowledge on how to use it, because it's extremely powerful, and a lot of people are still in their shadow, and they're going to use it for not very good intentions.
I'm going to ask about sexual alchemy after I say this comment about, for people listening, what the time frame and what the boundaries, and having the people literally shoot out of my life.
Yeah.
Like shoot out. Like really fast.
Faster and faster.
Faster and faster. It made me kind of be a third person observer to what my reality was before, whereas if I were to have slept with them, then I see how what that means for them is completely different than what that would have meant for me.
Right.
And now in this third person objective, seeing how they're shooting out of my life, oh my God, I just slept with them too soon before recognizing it. It's like if I had waited even like 2 more weeks, I would have saw who they really were.
Right.
And it's so powerful to be in the position that I am now, just to see them running away.
Yeah.
Like, just bye. And it's beautiful, and I send them love. But thank God that break has been set on the sexual energy, just to be able to really observe and see the quality of human.
Yeah. And the more awakened and powerful a woman is in her sexual energy, in her life force, in her feminine energy, divine feminine, the more men will run away faster from her life. And also women, also sisterhood, for like friends, because it's not real sisterhood. So it might look like sad sometimes, like, oh my God, like for some women, you know, that I work with, it's like, I don't understand. I like so many guys and none of them like me. It's like, no, it's not that they don't like you, most of them, but you have to understand your power right now. You're in a different, you know, you're not the same woman you were before. So really respecting that power that you have, it's really amazing to see. Yeah. And then it clears out your life. It cleans out your life from the right men, the right women, everything. You know, it puts you on your path. It puts you on your purpose. It's connected to everything.
It really is.
Yeah, to your health, to your physical health as a woman.
What is sexual alchemy?
So that's a very, very, very big topic. And I'm going to like try to put it in the least words as I can. Sexual alchemy is basically the energy and the movement of energy that's formed when a man and a woman come together in sexual union. So, and this is a very general kind of, you know, it's very difficult to find the words to translate what I'm receiving from the temple. Like, it's been my struggle for years. It's like, I'm in the temple, I'm receiving the energies and the knowledge, and it's like, now I have to translate it to human words. Good luck. It's very difficult. So, hopefully I'm doing a good job.
You're doing wonderful. Good. I'm picking up everything.
Good. So, so yeah. And the thing about sexual alchemy, and I have done one video on it, I don't really talk about it too much because I don't feel, and perhaps it's my own fear, I don't feel like most people are ready to hear that. Sexual alchemy is only created between a man and a woman, meaning between a physical body of a man and a physical body of a woman. You can create energetic alchemy and emotional alchemy between woman and woman and men, but the actual sexual alchemy is not created between, you know, it's only created between a man and a woman. That's why we only have a baby. When you have a man and a woman, you unfortunately can't do it with 2 men or 2 women. So yeah, and again, it's a really huge topic. In my first book, Sex and Magic Evolution, I begin to explain about sexual alchemy, but I wasn't even allowed to continue giving more information because people need to, they have to kind of first get the basics and understand the basics. And then whenever the time is ready, I will be guided to share more. And I do share more in my personal programs because I have to, you know, again, it's really powerful stuff, and I have to have people be ready for it. So, yeah.
You mentioned before something that was about managing masculine energy, and I was like, oh, can we talk about it?
Managing masculine energy?
Yeah, it was like something really powerful. And you were like, oh, we'll talk about it.
Oh, are you talking about masculine fire?
Yeah.
Okay. Masculine fire. Oh god, that's so cute. Okay. Okay, so masculine fire is a practice for women. Is a practice. Oops, sorry. Is a practice for women to do for men. Okay, makes sense. So I don't know if I mean. It's a podcast, so I can't. Again, I have to show it physically how to do it.
We could turn this part into a video.
Yeah, we can, but I can explain. But also, if you go to my YouTube channel and you look for masculine fire on my YouTube channel, you will find it, and then I show it. But it's not. It's you will understand even now. It's fine. It's just if you don't understand, go to my video and then you know,
I'll link
and then
the video into the show notes.
Yeah, and okay, so. Okay. it's super powerful. Okay. Super powerful, super easy, and super simple, but super powerful. It works. With the right intention of a woman, it's wow. I have seen what it does to men. Like I have seen their whole energy body completely shifts in front of my face. Like and I do this for a lot of men, even if men I don't know. Even men I do know, I always ask for that soul's permission to do it. Because even if it's a good thing that I'm doing and I'm helping him, I'm not going to mess with anyone's free will. So I'm always kind of like connecting with his spirit. Can I share? Can I send you this energy? Can I whatever? Getting permission and then you do it. It's always best. I just believe it's always best. So what you do, basically, as a woman, you know and you feel, right? You've been feeling your whole life that like. Wherever you go and whatever you do, you always feel sexual energy from men. They always look at you. They always like, you feel it. It's always like it could always since we're kids, since we're girls. So, and every woman on the planet feels it. I don't care. Like every woman on the planet would feel this. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna do sexual. This is actually a part of sexual alchemy. You are alchemizing the energy of the sexual energy that you're receiving. So instead of like either pushing it away or being afraid of it or protecting yourself from it, which with some men you should, but here you take your power back. You are kind of like you are the goddess. You embody the full power of the goddess, and you. Instead of like blocking it, you take it in. But again, okay, this is very important to say. You do not do this practice if you are not 100% sure and know that you are that your womb is extremely powerful, meaning that you've connected to it, that it's guiding you every day, that it's something that I can't explain. You have to know it. It's a knowing. It's a deep knowing. So don't do this practice and don't just receive any man's sexual energy and open your womb and your pussy, like, and your energy pussy, not physical pussy. Don't open that to men's energy if you're not sure of who you are, of your power, okay? If you're not grounded enough. So, important thing to say. But if you are, and you, let's say you walk in the street and there's a guy giving you like a look or whatever and you feel his sexual energy, you take it in. You literally take it in from your pussy up into your womb. You transmute the energies in your womb, okay? So you move them around. And this is something, again, that I teach, but it's something that you already know as a woman. You have this knowledge. So I don't have to teach you. I want to like shake you up a bit so that because you know. We are sexual energy transmuters. That's what the womb is for. It is that's what happens in the womb. Right. So you take the energy, you transmute. Even if, let's say, this guy gave you a really dark, like yucky sexual energy, right? Like super yucky. And again, if you're in your power, you take it in, transmute it into love, into light, clean it, I literally imagine cleaning up the energies and like even their color becomes lighter and lighter and lighter. And use your imagination. The sky is the limit, okay? Even more than the sky is the limit. There's no limit. And then you bring up the energies up into your heart center after you've transmuted them in your womb. Okay? womaniverse. Bring it up into your heart. And when it's strongly in your heart, you send it to the guy's heart, back into the guy's heart. So whether he gave you like really nice sexual energies or dark sexual energies, he got back a really strong, powerful, like light source right now. And you awakened his heart. You awaken the light, love, fire in his heart. Okay? And then you kind of like close the circle, let him go. This is so powerful. Like so powerful. I can't even, you'll have to experience it to see what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is called Masculine Fire. I received it directly. Like, I don't even know. I just one day did it. The Sisters of the Temple taught me. They didn't even teach me. They actually just did it through me. I was in a space where there were a lot of men around me. I was dressed very provocatively in that moment, and I felt a lot around me, and my body just did it. It was one of the most powerful experiences of my life, and I never stopped since then to do it. You know?
Oh, it's magic.
It's magic.
It's real life.
It's pure magic. But again, do not receive into your womb any energies until your womb is strong enough. So work with your womb first. Strengthen it. Strengthen your temple and your body. Eat only light foods. Don't eat death and animals and drink a lot of alcohol and do all that shit. Your womb is not going to be strong enough to handle that. Yeah. You want your womb to be full of life force, not death. Yeah. So eating any animal products is number one. Alcohol, just bad, like whatever drugs, if you want to, like, don't keep it pure. And then it's strong enough to do it. Of course, your connection to your womb is very important too. Your energetic connection. Talk to your womb. Talk to it. Envision it. Ask for guidance every day. So yeah.
How do you, I feel like I always go back to this with you because it's empowering for me. How do you balance provocative dressing and all of the masculine energy that comes in?
Good question. Very good question.
It's so hard for me that I can't do it.
Yeah. I noticed that about you. I've noticed that about you, and I actually wanted to talk to you about it. Maybe we'll talk about it after. But
we could talk about it after and even now. Like it's something that I'm working through.
What do you feel? I want to hear your experience because I'm interested. Maybe we can be vulnerable for a minute, and I'm going to be vulnerable and tell me about that with you, because I've noticed the way you dress, and you are an extremely beautiful woman.
Thank you.
Extremely beautiful, extremely feminine. I know you told me the other day that you think you're very masculine, but your masculine and feminine are so balanced, and you are very much in your divine feminine. You embody the divine feminine so powerfully in every little thing you do.
Thank you. I've been working hard on
And
it.
on the other hand, I can see you with your work and your business, where your masculine is very strong and grounded as well. So it's just beautiful balance. But yeah, let's talk about the dress and everything. I want to hear.
Yeah, so I feel like as just existing as a woman in this earth right now, I know that I bring in a lot of attention. I'm also very energetic.
Yeah.
So no matter what, I'm bringing energy and light around me and to me, and there's a lot of attention coming my way. I almost feel like there's two ways about it. I almost feel bad because then it's too much, because it's like I'm already getting all this attention. Now here's something more to add to it.
So do you feel guilt?
A bit of guilt.
Okay.
And then another part of it is it's just so much. Like, I never want to show cleavage because it's just so much. It's almost like I'm asking for it by doing that, but I can't help that I have big boobs.
Okay, yeah.
So it's almost like I don't want to ask for it.
What are you asking for? What is that asking? What are you asking for?
That's a story.
That's not your story, by the way. That's a story of society that you've taken upon yourself. I'm asking for it.
Yeah.
What are you asking for? What is that thing you're asking for if you're going to show cleavage?
I'm not asking for anything, but I know I'm going to get it.
What are you going to get?
Eyes.
And what's going to happen if you get eyes?
I'm going to feel uncomfortable.
Why?
Because I don't want my physical appearance, I don't know. Maybe it's just like too much sexual energy and attention.
Close your eyes for a minute.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself in a room. You're wearing cleavage. You're wearing something that you really like and you're feeling comfortable, but it's cleavage, okay? You're showing some skin. Can you see yourself in that?
I can see myself feeling uncomfortable because I feel too open.
Okay, now stay with this. Stay with that uncomfortable feeling, okay? Can you see clearly what you're wearing and how much skin you're showing and everything?
Jeans and a low top shirt.
Cool. Do you feel comfortable?
No, it's just like too much boobs. I'd rather it covered up.
Okay. So I want you to pick some sort of outfit that is that you think it's probably showing cleavage, but something that you're so comfortable with. Something that's fun for you to wear. That expresses who you are as a woman.
Can it like outline the boobs?
Whatever
but
you
not show
want,
it?
whatever you want. But I want you to feel comfortable, but allow it to be feminine.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like what I wore on Christmas.
Great. Okay.
That's comfortable.
Okay. And is that like the most skin you would show? If you would say that, like, let's say it's a really hot summer day, right? Because it was cold that day. But like, if it's really hot outside, right? You're in the sun, you're dancing, you're having fun. Pick something comfortable.
That's fine.
Yes.
Then like a tank top's okay.
Okay.
But like a sports tank top that I can't help the cleavage is better than like a going out cleavage top.
Okay. Let's stay with that for a minute. All right. You're comfortable with it?
With
wearing
sports one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You are? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. What's happening right now? Let's say what's happening in the room. You're showing cleavage. You're showing skin. You're comfortable with it, but you're showing skin.
I'm just existing and being.
Mm-hmm.
I feel fine.
Okay.
But I'll still like push it up.
What's gonna happen if you don't push it up? What's gonna happen?
Nothing's gonna happen.
Like, describe to me that uncomfortable feeling. I want you to go to the uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, I'm crawling there.
Yeah, while you were like dressed like that. I want you to be in that scenario, in that moment fully.
Well, there's a moment of uncomfortableness when I'm in like the sports tank top with the cleavage, and then there's a moment of goddess like quality of just like being. The uncomfortable. We're sticking with the uncomfortable one.
Yep.
Not the goddess one.
You're already a goddess. I just want to know why you're not fully expressing it.
Me too.
You know what I mean? Because you're not. You're. This is like a. It's like you always wear these. Always wear this kind of t-shirts. Like a men's t-shirt.
It really is.
It's like you're putting an armor around you.
Yeah.
So I wanna get to why you're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, are there any women around you ever that you look at them and you're jealous at what they wear? You feel jealousy?
I'm not jealous. I'm empowered.
You don't have to. Jealousy is not a bad thing. We're using jealousy to discover your subconscious beliefs.
Right.
So like
I'm empowered by the clothes that you wear.
Okay.
Always empowered.
Even when I'm showing cleavage.
I'm empowered.
And skin. Great.
So I feel like grateful that you're doing it for
me. Yes, I know. Many women have told me that. Because that's what I want to do. I want to give permission for women to even when I went to festivals and I wore like literally an underwear and a like pasties on my boobs. Because I want to give permission to women to completely express themselves. It doesn't mean you have to wear the same thing, but I want you to feel free to completely be the woman that you are. So let's go back to that. It's very, very interesting. What would happen if you would wear that as well?
I would get attention that I don't want.
Why do you don't want it?
Maybe I'm scared of it.
Why?
Maybe I feel that I can't alchemize that energy powerfully, and it kind of exhausts me in a way. And it's not like... I think it's me, like, understanding my ego and not wanting all of that attention, because I maybe even feel like this is so fucked up. Like
Nothing is fucked up.
Yeah, maybe it almost feels like, and this is not always, because obviously there are times in my life where I'm like, yeah, I'm dressing up sparkly, beautiful, as tight as possible. That is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's rare.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something about it that almost feels like I'm like doing a disservice to my sisters.
Why? You're good. You're doing
That's
great.
Kind of fucked up to say.
No,
but
it's nothing. It's fucked up.
And maybe that's not even like true, but there has to be some sort of truth to it.
Okay, go into it. So explain it. And there's nothing fucked up in what you're saying, because a lot of women think that. Okay?
Yeah.
So you're helping a lot of women by being vulnerable about that right now.
Okay.
So stay with that. Stay with that story for a minute. I know that there are many other stories.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because we're multi-level human beings, but stay with that story for a minute. Let's play with it. So what kind of disservice you're going to do for other women?
That out loud.
It's okay. It's great.
It's not like an ego thing, right?
It's no.
Okay.
You are bringing the shadow up into the light right now. That's what you do, and it's very scary, and it's very ugly, and that's why most people don't do it. They don't have the courage to do it. You're doing it, and like other people are listening. That's very courageous.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to empower other women, because guess what? Even me and even a lot of other women think that, and we feel that sometimes.
Okay.
So that's courage.
Thank you.
So go into that story.
Okay, so maybe because, not always, but I know that I attract attention to myself, and I would also like to say that the men in my life have ran away, so it's not about me blowing up my ego.
Yeah.
But stepping back into that, maybe I feel like I already get attention, and to show my body and to be more feminine and to allow people to see me more, it's not how other women would like me to be. And I want to be there for my sisters and not take away from their light by shining more brightly mine.
Yeah.
Because I already know how brightly mine can shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you see me walking around with like, with all my cleavage and stuff, you're empowered by it.
Right.
Right? Do you feel like that when you see a woman like me, other women walking around like showing our bodies, or walking around with pride? Do you feel like that? Do you feel like I'm taking your light away?
No, I love it. But I also have worked so hard on myself that I feel like I'm able to feel that way so strongly, and with so much love to the sisters that do that.
Yeah. That
I'm honored to be in the place of loving that and also remaining in the sidelines.
Great. Now this is one story. Now let's dive deeper into another story.
Yeah.
So just close your eyes and feel this shirt that's on you, this men's shirt, right? Like, I don't know how you call it.
It's cute.
It's cute. It's adorable. It's adorable.
But it is my
But you're
style.
wearing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay? So, like all the time. So, what does it feel like? What does it give you, this thing on you? What feeling?
It gives me the feeling that if someone's gonna meet me, like, they'll like my energy, they'll like my face, and I'll get to know them on that level before this is revealed.
And it's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, but what else?
Safe, warm, comfortable.
Let's stay with safe, because we're diving in shadow, right? We already know the light stuff. So what does it make you feel safe from?
It makes me feel comfortable to not be revealed. Like, it makes me be able to, like, run around and be free, like, not worry about, like, the thought, honestly, it's like this sick feeling in my stomach of just, like, being, like, really looked at.
Yeah.
Stay with it. It's like a really sick feeling.
Stay with that feeling. I know. Stay with that feeling, okay? The sicker the better right now. You want to feel all of it.
Okay.
Okay? Like, I want you to even imagine, like, you're feeling that right now. Like, it's being blown on you. Like, that sick feeling of being looked at.
Yeah.
Stay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And express in words everything you're feeling and that's coming up. Even if you see images, if you see emotions, whatever comes up.
It's just like a disgusting feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not a good feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't like that feeling, and then it can come in waves too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I almost feel like I don't have control over it, so maybe by dressing in this way I mitigate any chance of it even coming in, because then I just can gauge it more because it happens less.
Yeah.
But when I'm open, it's just like a bad feeling. And I've noticed this before, that maybe I'll like wear something that is very provocative, and then I'll start having that feeling, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go back to what I like.
Mm-hmm. Okay, when was the first time you felt that? Stay with that feeling.
So I don't think this was the first time that I felt it, but when I was on a Mexico vacation a long time ago with my Russian family friend, she's very sexually open, and I remember her taking off her bikini top and laying shirtless on the beach, and I was pissed at her for doing it, because I was noticing the energy that she was taking on and feeling it myself.
Right, but that wasn't the first time. You noticed it because you already had it within you. She was mirroring it. It wasn't your experience of feeling it.
Yeah, but
directly on you.
Yeah, and I was feeling it for her. And pissed.
Yeah. And it might not be something that you'll discover today, but I invite you to keep that feeling. Go into that shadow. Go into the exact same spot that disgust. Okay, trust me. You are not the only woman that feels like that. Trust me, including myself. So go into that disgust and explore that more. Okay? You don't necessarily have to remember the first time. The reason that we try to remember the first time is to kind of like go as far as we can, to kind of like dig in as deep as we can, to like get all the crap out, so we can heal the wound. But really invite you to stay with that feeling. And even when you're going out this week, when you're going to be around people, notice that and see where it's coming, and see how it makes you feel and what's coming up for you. Things will come up for you this week, because you already brought it from the shadow. It can go back into the shadow. Okay, especially you, because you're a very aware, conscious woman. So once we bring up shit from the shadow, once it's there, we're going to start noticing things from our outside world that are going to explain or show, or we can see it clearer. So just pay more attention to that, and even in don't be afraid to go into that disgust feeling. Just go. I would go in it. I would like bring it on, bitch. Kind of like energy. And yeah, because I feel, I don't know you so well. I feel like I know your soul, but this is not you. I feel like there is a part that's not you, and you're not fully expressing who you are. If this would have been you, great, that's awesome. Every woman should express herself in if you want to wear onesie all day long, wear a freaking onesie all day long. But I want it to be from you, your full, honest, authentic expression of your femininity.
Which I'm not doing.
Which I don't feel like you're doing.
I'm not doing it.
So
I'm scared.
Yeah. So I don't want any fear to dictate how you're expressing yourself in the world. You know what I mean? It's because, why? Because we need your fullness. We need all of you. We don't need just a little, So really powerful work. Really powerful acknowledgement of your shadow. That's self-loving. That's empowering. And I can promise you that there are, if not all women that have listened to this, like many of them, they know exactly how you feel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to cry in the middle of this podcast because I thought in my brain how good it was. Did you see when I was tearing up?
I did.
And I was like, I'm not going to say out loud. That's
did.
So good.
But, and also, like, because you asked me this before, so I'm going to answer. I love expressing my sexuality and showing off my body. even though I do it less now because, you know, I feel like more mature and I feel like I like covering up more than I used to, but I still like, I just love, you know, I love being a woman. I love all the colors and the shapes and everything I can do with, you know, I'm a work of art. We are a work of arts, you know, like makeup is like putting like paint on a canvas and, you know, I choose my colors and I choose what I show and what I don't show. This is power because if I want a woman to walk out of her house choosing from her power what I'm going to show today, what I'm not going to show today. This is power. But letting your shadow and your fear dictate what you're going to cover up or not, that's not power. All right, and that's not your full expression. So I can literally walk half naked in like a festival of like 50,000 people and feel completely in my power, like extremely. And it's because, and it was not easy at first. Like I kind of brought myself naturally to that place, and it's the more I loved my body, the more my body was healthy, the more my body it looked better, felt better. I felt so much freedom. It's that freedom. It's beyond words. It's beyond words. You know, I did burlesque a few years ago, and in LA. I was always a dancer, but I never thought I would do burlesque. And one time I went to an audition, and this guy was like, "Do you do burlesque?" And I was like, I lied. I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And I didn't because I really wanted to. Like, I wanted to get the gig, and I ended up finding myself before a premiere show. I was literally on the poster of the whole show. Like, they put me on the poster, and I've never taken my clothes off on stage in front of people, and I'm about to do that, and like, what the fuck am I doing? How am I going to do this? The minute I walked up on stage and I took my clothes off, and of course I had pasties and I had like a thong, but the minute I did that, it was the most freeing moment of my life.
Wow.
I feel like that was the moment I entered like a whole new realm of my feminine power and my sexual power and my sexual energy. Because of burlesque dancing, I feel like that healed a lot of my sexuality and strengthened it so much to the core. I just can't even explain it to you. And a lot of women who do burlesque can tell you that. It's the experience that they feel, because this is our power. You know, women, when we were in the temple, you know, when I visit the temple, it's like we're just walking around naked there. This is our power, and we're hiding it, and we're ashamed of it because society tells us we can't show our boobs and we can't show our pussy. This is life.
Yeah.
This is where everyone comes out from. So we are completely programmed into thinking specific ideas about the human body, and especially the feminine body, the woman's body. It's insane. Now, you can see on the other hand, a lot of girls and women who dress extremely provocatively, but they have no power.
Right.
Because they dress provocatively from fear. They dress like that because of a fear, or because of like they think that that's the only way that they can get attention. Or so it doesn't matter what you wear. That's the point. It doesn't matter what you wear. The point is that you express your full femininity from an authentic place. Okay? So, yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Last question. Why don't you like the word vagina?
Well, because the word vagina, actually, if you go to the dictionary, it means sheath, which is a place to put the sword in. And my vagina is not that. And if vagina is not a good word to express this portal of life. That's why I call it my portal.
Yeah.
Pussy is a great word. It's fun. It's cute. It's like, it's sassy. I love the energy of it. And it's just, you know, yeah. Power. Or I use portal. I say, this is my portal. Because it's a portal, and only a god can enter it.
Boom.
Boom.
I'm going to get my tea. How can people find you? All the YouTube channels. I'm also going to link all the YouTube channels.
So you go to motherisrising.com. That's my website. It has everything you need in it. YouTube is Luna Aura, Mother is Rising. You can search for that. There's a link to my YouTube on my website and everything, all my programs, my books, if you want to get them, everything through there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, babe. Thank you for being so open and powerful.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you so much for listening. All the information about this episode will be left in the show notes. Luna's contact information, her books, and the YouTube links that we discussed before. I appreciate you so much, everyone who has left a 5-star review and comment on Apple Podcasts. If you have not yet, it would mean so much to me if you did. I will also be leaving a Patreon link in the bio for this episode. Have a beautiful day, beautiful people. Catch you on the next one.